Hi pretties, and welcome back to my channel. It has been way too long. I know I always start off saying this, but it really has been too long. So welcome back. I hope all is well on your end. Today, as you can probably tell, I have a nail video or a nail review / comparison video. This video started off actually as a comparison video between dip powder and gel, and it eventually took a turn into a first impression / second impression / overall impression on the dip powder. This was my very first time trying the dip powder. The gel I've been doing for a while now, but this was my first time trying the dip. Initially I was loving it. I was like, gel, you're out of here. But then when I did it again, things changed. So I am just gonna get into the video. I'm gonna show you the steps that it took to apply each one of these. I did, for the sake of the experiment for the sake of this video and experiment and whatever, I did my left hand with dip and my right hand with gel. Right now they're both dip because I've already finished the experiment. I lasted 3 weeks with two different nail colors. I tried to get the colors as similar as I could, but it didn't work out that way. The right hand was like a pinkish, and this one was like this is like a nude type.
You know what I learned about nude, by the way? The lady that does my hair told me, nude is not like a specific color. Nude is whatever color is closest to your skin tone. So this wouldn't be nude to me. This is like a whitish, pinkish type color. But
whatever. I lasted 3 weeks with both manicures to see which one would hold up better, which one was easier to apply, which one was easier to remove, which one would cause less damage to my nails. And just yesterday I removed that manicure and I did a fresh set of the dip powder, and that is when things took a turn for me. I started to notice things that we'll discuss later. I'm just gonna get into the tutorial now. Okay, so here we go, starting off with the dip powder. These are some of the things that you will need. You obviously the instructions, nail file. Well, you don't need the instructions because you have me, honey. But you need a nail file, you need a brush. I used a paint brush because I didn't want to waste my makeup brushes, but I used a paintbrush. I also had an alcohol pad and a little makeup sponge to help remove the excess powder. Start off with clean nails, wash your hands, and then you can wipe with an alcohol pad if you want to. Maybe I was being a little too extra, but just start off with clean hands. That's the point. Okay, pretties, so now grab your nail file. Mine is a little beat up, but whatever, it works. And start buffing your nails to eliminate the shine. And I also suggest that you file your nails into the shape that you want, so that later on it will be less work. Okay, so you're gonna do this to each nail. I personally would suggest working with one hand at a time because it's just easier, but it's up to you. You're just about ready to start now. Just make sure to wipe off your nails with the sponge or with the alcohol pad, which should be a little drier by now, so you can start with a clean surface. So grab your Pro Base now, which is the one with the purple cap, and your powder. So you're gonna apply a thin layer of the Pro Base. Don't be heavy-handed because then that means more buffing later on. You want a thin layer so that it looks nice and smooth. And make sure your strokes are even from base to tip. Now gently dip your whole nail inside. Make sure that you cover the full nail, and you don't have to leave it in there for a long time. Now tappy tappy tap, tap off the excess and use your brush to brush off the excess as well. And now go in with the Pro Base again, a second thin layer. If you see any gaps after the first coat, then this time make sure you get those gaps in so that the full nail is covered in powder. Dip again, in and out, then tap, 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 and use your brush to clean off the excess. By the way, put your cap on the powder every time that you're done using it. After each nail, after each coat. You don't want anything getting in there. Now continue on to the rest of your nails. One layer, then powder, then second layer, powder again. Also, if you get the polish on your skin or on your cuticles, make sure to wipe it off before dipping in the powder because it will be hard to remove later on. If you happen to make a mistake, it's okay. Just fix it, shape it into place, and do another layer of the pro base and dip again. Whether it's your first pass or your second, just fix it just like I did here. It just means that that nail is gonna require a little more buffing later, but it's not a big deal. You will still get the same beautiful results. Just make sure you fix it. So just like I said, this is already the second pass. The nail was still giving me trouble. You can see the little gap up there. So what I did was I took a little bit more of the pro base, passed it over that little section there, and I dipped the powder again. I dipped in the powder again. After I gave it a little more shape with my nail before it completely dried, and then I moved on to the next nail. You can see where I added the powder there, but that's okay. Once we get to the buffing process, it will all blend in together. Okay, now that you have done all your nails, moving on to the next step, which is the activator. That one has the silver cap. It's also labeled as a number 2. Let me tell you, honey, this activator is the super glue of this all. This is what hardens the powder. So if you have any powder left on your cuticles or around your nails, around your fingers that you want to remove, do it now because the activator is going to harden everything. It's going to be a headache to remove it later on. So do it before applying the activator. With the activator, apply a generous amount. Make sure you cap the tips of your nails and you're covering the edges, and just do a good job with this activator. Afterwards, you will let it dry for 2 minutes. Okay, so now grab your nail file and you're gonna start buffing and shaping your nails into shape. It's gonna get messy, so try to get a napkin or like a small little towel to put under because girl, dust everywhere. With the nail that I fixed, I made sure that I buffed it well, nice and smooth, so that it blended with the rest of the nail. So make sure you're getting a nice and smooth surface. Here are my results, nice and smooth, nicely blended. You cannot tell where I fixed that nail. Everything is blended nicely. Be careful with filing so you don't end up with cuts like I did. It's very painful, trust me. Grab your activator again, the polish with the silver cap, and you're just going to apply another coat of it and let it dry for 15 seconds. And gently wipe it with a dry paper towel or with the little makeup sponge or whatever you chose to use. Make sure it's dry though. Here's a quick look. Now grab the little bottle with the 3 on it with the pink cap. This is the finishing gel, and you're gonna apply a quick coat with 2 to 3 coats. You don't have to worry about capping it or being too neat with it. Just apply a quick coat and then allow it to dry for 15 seconds. Now that the 15 seconds are up, apply another coat, this time going slower, more detailed, capping your nails, getting the edges, but do not over brush because it's gonna shine and the overall look of the nail. Look how pretty it looks. Now allow your nails to dry for 1 to 2 minutes. I would say 2 minutes to be on the safe side. The final step is to moisturize. I used shea butter. You can use whatever moisturizer you would like to use. Revel recommends applying their Revel Nail Cuticle Oil, of course, but really any moisturizer will get the job done. Here is the final look. I was extremely happy with the results. The nails came out beautiful. They look professional. It just came out lovely. I was very happy with this manicure. And now we start the gel manicure. Just like with the dip powder, start with clean hands and an alcohol pad, and then start buffing your nails to eliminate the shine. Buffing your nails is necessary because that's what helps the polishes attach to your nail, the gel attach to your nail, and make sure you have lasting results. The steps to the gel are so much simpler, nice and easy. Grab your first polish, which is numbered number 1. Now with the gel, the strokes don't matter as much. Make sure you cover the full nail, get your edges, your corners, cap the nail from the beginning. I would suggest go very detailed. Now place your fingers under the lamp for 30 seconds. You don't have to count it. The light is automatic. After 30 seconds, it will stop on its own. I like to first put my 4 fingers in and then my thumb, because it just doesn't, the thumb always gets left out when I try to do all 5 fingers at once. There's too much distance between them. Now grab polish number 2, which is your color, and you're gonna do 2 coats of it. In between coats though, you're gonna go under the light again. Again, go nice and slow, even strokes. Make sure you're getting the full nail, not missing any spots. If you get any polish on your cuticles or on your fingers, make sure you wipe it off before going under the light so you don't end up with a sloppy manicure. First color coat done, now go under the light again. Now you move on to your second coat of paint. Again, nice and slow, very detailed, capping the nails, getting the edges. And now under the dryer again. Now we move on to step 3, shake it, and again, nice and slow. Make sure you're very detailed, covering every little corner of your nail, capping it, and then right back under the light. By the way, if you're not happy with the color, if you think it's too light, before you go to step 3, you can add another coat of color and go under the light, and then move on to step 3. And one final time, go under the lamp to seal it all in. Of course, there I go, being all extra with my left hand. I was feeling my manicure, okay? Okay, pretty, so I'm gonna give you a top secret tip. The gel kit originally comes with alcohol pads. Once the alcohol pads are done, you're supposed to replace them. These alcohol pads is what seals everything in. Before you apply the alcohol pads, you will feel that your nails are sticky. You need the alcohol to kind of get rid of that and finish off the manicure. The alcohol pad box costs $15 versus getting this bottle of alcohol for under $5. Please do not spend the money on those pads. $15, not worth it. Buying the bottle does the same exact thing. And here is my final result. I love it as well. It does look a little thinner. The gel, maybe this color, that's what it is, this color, but it looks more like polish, like really shiny polish than an actual like set like the dip powder. But it's still beautiful. I loved it. It's convenient, it's quick. I love it. So here are the final results of both manicures together. As you can see, the dip powder does look thicker, but they're both beautiful. Or at least I think they're both beautiful. What do you think? Big reveal. This is my dip powder manicure after 3 weeks. As you can see, I have growth. I feel like I could have pushed it maybe a tiny bit more if I had to, but there's definitely a lot of growth in between the nail, so it was time to renew it. I was starting to get lift, but the edges was perfect. There was no lift in the edges. Then there's the gel manicure, which didn't hold up as good, but again, this is 3 weeks later. Usually the most I get out of a gel manicure is 2 weeks. I was starting to get lift all around the nail, even on the edges. My nails were screaming, redo me, redo me. It just didn't hold up as well. But with the gel, I also had a lot of growth. I would say not as much growth as with the left, but I'm a righty, so I do most of the things with my right hand. So in general, my right hand grows slower. Okay, so for the removal of both manicures, the dip powder and the gel, this is what you will need: acetone, cotton balls, and foil paper. You can use scissors or do it with your hands. Just cut off 10 strips of foil paper wide enough to cover your fingertips. Since ain't no waste over here, sis, I also cut the cotton balls in half because these are pretty big. You can get 2 out of 1. So to begin, grab your cotton ball, your acetone, and wet the cotton ball. Wet it enough that it will cover your entire nail, and then just cover your nail completely with the cotton ball. On top of the cotton ball, you're gonna seal it with the foil paper. Wrap it around your finger. And you will do this to each one of your fingers. I did all 10 fingers at once in this video, but I suggest doing one hand at a time. I ended up taking off the gel hand because it was too hard to try to manage scraping off what was falling off with a handful of covered in foil paper. So I allowed the foil paper to sit in my nails with the cotton ball for about 20 minutes, and then I started removing the foil paper one by one. For the gel, it was falling off almost immediately. I used this tool to scrape off what was ready to come off, and I left the rest and wrapped it back up until it would fall off on its own. You never want to put so much force into scraping because you don't want to damage your nails. To remove the dip powder, it took a little more effort, but I followed the same exact steps. I uncovered the nail after 20 minutes and I scraped off what was ready to come off. What wasn't ready, I covered the nail back up and let it sit a little longer until it was ready to come off. Again, I am scraping really lightly to avoid any damage to my nails. Okay, pretty. So let me just start off with the gel because it's gonna be nice and quick. I love gel. It's convenient to apply, convenient to remove. It looks beautiful. It will last you a good 2 weeks. I wouldn't push it to 3 because, as you saw, it starts to, you get more growth at the bottom with the gel than with the dip, and the size starts to ship eventually. And yeah, but I love gel. I'll always keep gel for special occasions or for a quick emergency or whenever I just want to have pretty nails that I know are gonna last me. I don't want to have to worry about painting my nails. But with everything, I like to give my nails a break to breathe and to just be natural. Now the dip, here are the pros. It lasts a long time. I lasted 3 weeks, like I said, but I could have gone a little longer. I was getting lift though. That's another thing with the gel. Eventually you start getting lift, and with the dip, I was starting to get, 3 weeks in, I was starting to get lift, which is super annoying. But when you get acrylic nails also, it's kind of something you can't avoid. It just happens. So those are the pros. I was absolutely loving it. I love the results. It looks beautiful. It looks like it was perfect. It looks like it was professionally done. The steps are easy to follow. It does take a little longer than the gel, but it's easy to follow. So I loved it. Remember, when I first did it, I only did one hand, so I wasn't exposed to the smell or the polishes as long. The second time that I did this, I started to notice how strong the smell is. And then eventually my eyes started to burn, and I do remember the first time my eyes burning, but I kind of ignored it because I wasn't thinking much of it at the time. I just wanted to get my nails done and have it done. I was excited. But the second time I was exposed to it longer, so the burning of the eyes, I was feeling it. My nose was bothering me. It was hurting. It was like irritated. The smell was strong. And the thing with this brand, Revel Nails, is that they claim that it's odor free. That is a lie. The smell is strong. You know, the polishes smell like super glue, like crazy glue. Have you ever tried crazy glue? It smells like crazy glue to the 5th power. It is a strong smell of glue. And then for the acrylic, this brand also claims to be vegan and non-toxic. The first ingredient on this is acrylic. Even though they claim that this isn't acrylic or gel, it's acrylic. If you do a quick Google search, the first ingredient is acrylic. I'm not even going to try to say the name because it's complicated, but the first ingredient, according to the quick Google search that I did, is acrylic. And other nail techs have said that dip powder is acrylic. But I'm not going to get into the ingredients because I just did a quick search. And I'm not an expert on these ingredients, but the way that this smells, there's no way that it's non-toxic. That smell is ridiculously strong. Sorry that it looks a little bit darker. I'm starting to lose daylight. I read reviews on Amazon and people were complaining about the smell and about their skin reacting to the product. Everybody has different skin, their skin can handle different things. I personally didn't get any rashes or have any issues with my nails or in my skin, but the smell to me is just intolerable. It is way too strong. And if this is vegan and it's cruelty free and it's clean ingredients, I feel that it shouldn't smell this strong. And I also do not like that they're advertising that it's odorless when it's not. It has a very strong odor. This smell literally reminded me, it took me back to like middle school, high school, when I used to go to my local chinas and get my nails done, that it smells like freaking glue and acrylic in there. That's exactly what this smells like cheap ass glue and acrylic. I'm sorry, but that's what it smells like. I really wanted to love this because I love the look of the nails. It looks very professional, nice and clean, but I cannot get past that smell. Oh, also when I applied certain of the polishes, my nails were burning. I think it was with the final step with the with the finishing gel coat. I think that's when I started to feel the burning, if I'm not mistaken. But at some point I was feeling burning on my fingers, and it didn't go away right. It didn't go away right away, but it also didn't last longer than a minute. With gel, I usually feel a tingle, like it's a burning sensation when I apply the first coat of color and go under the light. After that, I feel nothing. I don't have any sensitivity to the smell, to anything. After this, I'm gonna stick with gel. It's nice and easy, quick, to the point. Oh, by the way, the gel brand that I use is Sally. It says that on here. And I am going to stick with my gel. I'm sorry that I almost betrayed you. At the beginning of the video, I did say that this is my first time trying to dip, and let me just clarify that it is the first time me doing it myself and trying this brand and buying a kit myself. But I did try dip powder once at a salon in LA, and I absolutely loved it. I don't remember having any kind of burning or pain or reactions in my face and with my nose, my eyes, nothing. I didn't feel anything, I didn't smell anything, but they did use a different brand. I actually have a picture of that brand somewhere, so maybe I'll give them a try. Well, pretties, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Share it with someone that you think would enjoy it or might be helpful to. And I hope you're having an awesome summer. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you've tried these brands before. Let me know if you tried a different brand that you suggest I try, or your comments on the gel. Any comments, I love to read them. Leave them below, as long as they're nice. Don't be mean to me. But I will see you in the next video. Bye.